So your house didn't sell and you're still curious why. You have no idea why your house is sitting when everything else in your neighborhood has sold. Today we're gonna dive into the things you might not be thinking about when it comes to selling your house and why it's still sitting on the market. Let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about the 5 most common reasons why your house is not selling, and they're not as complicated as you think. If you can't figure out why your house is still sitting on the market, it's probably due to one of these 5 factors that we look at when we list every single house. Mike and I are both experts at relaunching properties, meaning if we're not the first agent in to try to sell it, we get hired as a second agent to come in afterward and relaunch the property and make sure that it sells. And after doing this countless times, we've identified the 5 top reasons why houses sit on the market. And today we're going to share them with you so that you don't find yourself in this situation when it's time for you to sell your most valuable asset, your house. I'm Kelly Schuett. Mike is also with me. If you haven't followed along or liked or subscribed, please do so to stay up to date with everything real estate related in and around Baltimore. Let's dive into it. The number 1 reason why a house is sitting on the market is that it's priced incorrectly. Pricing is your number 1 marketing strategy, and comps do not tell a lie. So when you're getting ready to price your house, you want to make sure that you're diving into the comps and the recent solds in your neighborhood that are actually comparable. So when clients say to us, oh, our neighbor sold up the street for $910,000, that's great, but was the house in the same condition? Was it the same square footage? Did it have the same size yard? Oftentimes the answer to those questions is no. So we want to compare your property to all of the similar comps that have sold. That's what makes them a comp. So an appraiser is not going to give you the same value as somebody on your street who didn't have the same assets inside their house. So we want to make sure that you're comparing your house to very equal apples to apples comparisons when we're looking at houses. A great agent is going to dive in and you're going to look at those comps together and agree or disagree. Is that kitchen more updated than yours? Is the backyard more flat than yours? Is this closer to a road? We're gonna take all of these different things into consideration and we're gonna evaluate where your house falls in line with all of the recent comps. Pricing too high is gonna mean it could sit on the market. We hear all the time, but Kelly, we can price it high and then that'll give people room to negotiate down or give us some room to do repairs or give us some room to give them a credit. The problem is if you're priced too high, you don't even get into a conversation where you're able to negotiate. On the other hand, what if you price too low? Now people are wondering, oh my gosh, why is it priced so low? What's wrong with it? There's a really sweet spot where you price exactly with the market, and if you get that right, the rest of the sale is gonna go a lot more smoothly. You're gonna get the right amount of activity and the right amount of buyers who are willing to pay the right price for your house. If you do it really well and the market conditions are primed for it, you might even get multiple offers that have extremely favorable terms for you. So the name of the game is hitting that target price from the beginning. Now, if you're sitting on the market, chances are there might be a pricing issue and it might be time to look back into those comps. And even if your house is priced correctly based off of them and it's one of the other 4 factors we're gonna dive into, we might need to look at that price in general if we're coming back in to take a second look at it. Reason why? Think about when you're walking past a bakery and you smell that fresh bread smell and you're like, oh my gosh, I never eat bread. It's so bad for me. I hate carbs, but I just have to have a piece of that. It smells so good. You go in the bakery, you get a croissant, you have the best day ever. 2 days later, you walk by that same bakery, that piece of bread is still sitting there. You don't care about it. You just keep walking. In fact, they throw that bread away because it's stale. The same thing happens with a house. When it's hot on the market, everybody wants it. They're curious about it. It looks so good. There's hype, there's energy. A couple days, weeks, months go by, that house is stale and it needs to be completely repositioned when it comes back to market. So if you're going to relaunch your house, you need to start from the beginning and take that pricing strategy from day 1 and make sure that it's priced correctly, especially because new comps and new information have likely popped up from the first day that you went on the market. So number 1 reason your house might be sitting is pricing. Thinking about relocating to Baltimore? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it all down below.
From top employers to best hospitals and a boatload of other things, all the stuff you'll need to know before making the move to in and around Baltimore. The best part, this guide is entirely free. Just click the link in the description and the top pinned comment. Hope this helps.
The second reason your house is sitting on the market is that you neglected small cosmetic updates. When you come to market, you need to know exactly what buyers are looking for. And the main thing that they want to know is, can I move into this house? Is this house move-in ready? Move-in ready to us means the walls are painted, the floors are carpeted or hardwood or laminated nicely, so they're already in move-in condition, and any small cosmetic updates are taken care of, like caulking in a bathroom or fresh mirrors, fresh paint, maybe swapping out a vanity. We're not talking about a whole home renovation, but we're talking about all those ticky-tacky little handyman things are tightened up before anybody lays eyes on the house. This makes sure the house presents itself in the best condition so buyers see it and think, oh my goodness, I could move into that. And if there is a big project like a bathroom remodel, that's something they can do on their own time after they live in the home. The problem with not updating things like floors or paint is buyers are thinking to themselves, man, I have to do that before I could even move my furniture in or my family in. How is this all gonna work out logistically? And they start this mental list of honey-do lists themselves. I have to do this and I have to do that and then this and then that. And it just becomes so overwhelming that they write the house off. Most of the time, these items are very small. They're things that you can do yourself or hire somebody to do very inexpensively, and you will see a return on that money every single time. So if your house is sitting on the market, take a look around, have a professional come and take a second look, because some of these things might be blind to you at this point, and point out things that buyers are gonna look at and not find as attractive. The third reason your house isn't selling is because no one told you that there's an odor in your home that's turning people off. This could be pets, this could be cigarette, or this could be cooking. These smells can contribute to a buyer walking in and thinking, oh my gosh, I can't live with that smell. How would I get it out of here? There are multiple professional ways, some of them are very cheap and free, to get smells out of your home. So have a trusted person in your life come in and tell you, hey, can you smell my dog? Can you smell any cigarette smell? Is there any other smell that's unsavory in the house? Make sure that happens before buyers start coming in, because that's something that they're not gonna see in the pictures, they're not gonna see online, so they're gonna get to your house, be excited about it, and be immediately turned off when they walk in the door. Things like litter boxes, really over-scented plugins, candles, all of these things are the things that you wanna make yourself aware of, because you're probably nose blind to them if you've lived in your house for a while. So you really need an outside party to come in and say, yep, you're good. So reason number 3, your house is sitting on the market, it just doesn't smell great. Hey guys, it's Kelly. I'm here with Mike as well. And as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love even more, and that's helping families and people from all across the country make a move here to Baltimore. I moved here about 20 years ago and I've never looked back. I love helping countless families make the move as well. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen, and I've linked the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. Look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Baltimore. The fourth reason your house isn't selling is that you overlooked something that buyers don't like about your house, and you didn't offset it enough in your pricing or your marketing strategy. This is something like living on a double yellow line, having a very sloped yard, living very close to proximity to something like a cemetery or a fire station or a school or a church. This is something that you haven't quite thought about and you haven't put enough emphasis on to overcome in your marketing or overcome with your pricing strategy. If your house falls in one of those categories, you have to find the sweet spot where people are willing to overlook that for the value that they're getting in the rest of the property. The fifth and final reason your house is not selling is that it's not staged properly. So if you're living in your home, you still need light staging, editing. The house has to present itself really well. This means no clutter, nothing on surfaces, no personal photos hanging around. It means presenting something that you would see in maybe an Airbnb. It's not completely empty and it's not completely blank, but it's void of any personal items and allows people to envision themselves and their own items in the space. And it needs to be staged. You need to have items here for people to be able to see how big the rooms are. Rooms actually look bigger when they're staged. I say this all the time. There's a reason when you go to new construction and you're in a brand new model home that they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to decorate that home with famous designers. They don't do that because it's fun. They do that because that sells their properties more. Think about it. They have inventory of tons of empty, beautiful, brand new houses, and they still choose to stage them. So your house that is not brand new and wasn't just built yesterday is especially gonna look better when it has great staging in place. So if you're looking to sell for top dollar and you want your house to get multiple offers quickly, staging is a must.
Now for the question of the day. For those of you looking to move within the state of Maryland, you're already here, you want to move to a different part. What part do you want to move to? Do you want to move from the city, out of the city, from Baltimore County to Anne Arundel County, Annapolis to Frederick? Let me know in the comments. I'm extremely interested. Get an understanding of where people are moving within the state. Even better, give me a call, shoot me a text. All my information is right on the screen here. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Now you're thinking to yourself, what about virtual staging? I've seen virtual staging, Kelly. Do you like that? No, I don't like that. And here's why. Once the buyer actually gets into your house, which is the place where they're gonna fall in love or not, they're not gonna see anything there because it's virtual. I want people to be able to see and explore the places, the spaces with actual furniture in place so that they can envision it while they're walking around. So virtual staging is a no for me. I like real staging in place because once the buyer or potential buyer is in your house, that's when they're gonna actually be evaluating if they wanna live there long-term or not. This is a bonus reason why your house might not be selling. If you do all 5 of those things correctly and your house is still on the market, it might not have been marketed and advertised correctly. You can do all the right things, and if you're just shouting into a chasm, no one's hearing about it. So where is your house showing up online? There are 23 sites that will relist your house if it's on Bright MLS. So is it listed correctly on Bright? Are you allowing it to be shared to all of the third-party sites? Are you reaching out and networking to all of the top agents in the area who sell there and let them know what co-op you're offering, what neighborhood amenities there are, what other opportunities there are with this house? How is your house being presented to the market outside of just throwing it up on the MLS? What else is going on? And if it's not being marketed at a really high level and you're not getting enough eyeballs on it, that could be a huge reason why you're not getting traffic and you're not getting showings, because without traffic and showings, you're not going to get offers. They go hand in hand. So driving as many eyeballs to see the listing, get excited about it, and come see it in person is always the goal. So if you're not getting that traffic, there's a reason. And if it's not one of the first 5, it might be this. If your house is sitting on the market currently and you're curious why, shoot us your listing. We will be critical and tell you exactly what we think is happening from the photos. If you're in another state, we'd be happy to do the same thing. We're always looking at what people are doing in listings, how we can improve them for ourselves. If you're a buyer, what's something that you've seen in a listing or in a house that's been a turn off once you've gotten there? We definitely want to hear that in the comments so that we can always coach our sellers on what buyers are looking for in this current market. To stay up to date on all things real estate in and around Baltimore, make sure you like and follow, and we'll see you on the next one.